Hello, welcome, it's Rich again here with another one of my short videos. This one's on the Mini Cooper SD Paceman. This is based on the Mini Countryman, but it's the coupe version. It's a quirky car that was only produced for about 4 years, so they're actually really rare cars, and they're a bit of a Marmite car from BMW. I've never really been attracted to them, but actually since I've had my hands on one today, it's been great getting a better look at these really strange and quirky cars from BMW Mini. There are so many styling tweaks with this car, with that roof line there that just drops away as it goes to the back of the car, and the narrowing of the windows as it goes rearwards as well. And not only is it dropped that way, but actually the windows also get narrower compared to the lower part of the car. A real designer's delight was the Paceman. And then the other interesting quirk is the doors. You open the door and I've just seen this huge gap here from where what you wouldn't have, I've never seen it on another car before. And then I've looked at the B-pillar, and you can see this B-pillar, and I can only expect that this B-pillar here is because it's based on the Countryman. But they wanted the Paceman to look like a coupe, so they've actually cut out to elongate the doors into a coupe shape. But again, great styling from BMW. I mean, this car is full of styling. Just like the bonnet on most Minis, the boot on the Paceman has these great cutouts for the lights. The boot's relatively small in the Paceman, to be truthful. However, they have these bungees, which I'm not sure how useful they may be. Perhaps, I suppose, owners can comment about whether they're used or not. But under here is actually extra storage space. Now, for that sort of probably 6-7 inch recess, why couldn't BMW have fitted a space saver there? Because one of the disadvantages I think of this, like on a lot of BMWs, is this desire to fit run flat tyres on the Paceman Cooper SD. I think from certain angles the Paceman actually looks really nice, and this is probably one of the best ones, the sort of the rear quarter view. The only thing that really concerns me is this black plastic that runs around the whole car, and it's not shallow. It's 6-8 inches deep all the way around the car, and it discolours, it shows every bit of dirt, and it just makes what could be a really nice looking car that little bit dirty, that little bit ugly, unless it's been cleaned. But you've got to say, the front, well, there's a lot going on. There's straight bits, there's square bits, there's round bits, there's all different sorts. It just looks like some sort of young designer has been given free rein to do whatever they wanted to do. But you've got to say, I kind of quite like it. Inside the car, it's typical BMW Mini. It's got the Mini Cooper S sill plate, and then inside it's really everything you expect of a Mini, and I think it's really good quality in here. There's absolutely no issues with anything in here at all. I absolutely love these half leather, half tartan seats. Really reminiscent for me of the sort of the Golf GTIs or the Porsche 944s from the 80s and 90s. Absolutely love them. I think the biggest letdown for me in the cabin is the actual radio, the digital radio that sits just below the central speedo. It looks very old-fashioned. And then the other quirk is at the back. It doesn't come with a bench seat. So again, this is all about style here, and it's one of the very few cars I've ever been in that's got 2 rear seats. The question for me is, can a diesel hang it out with a performance car? And so the balance between diesel and performance, I've yet to drive a really good diesel performance car. You can drive quick diesel cars, but do they give you that adrenaline like a good sports performance car petrol delivers? Let's take it for a drive. So I've literally just pulled off, and almost immediately that ride, straight away I can feel the firmness in the suspension. I also can hear straight away a lot of tyre noise, and that's probably from these run flat tyres. The steering is very direct and very precise, and that's the benefit of going with a firmer sort of suspension and larger alloys. And certainly now on this nice smooth tarmac, the road noise is a lot less. So let's just see what this can do now in sport. So this is a little bit of a bumpy B road. I mean, it's quick enough. You're going to be travelling quick enough in most instances with this car. You really will. But you will also sense that it is a diesel. There's no getting away from that, and that just, with the lack of revs, just takes some of that enjoyment away. Being a auto Tiptronic, for me, doesn't lessen it as it's a diesel. It probably would have done if it had been the petrol Cooper S. But to the diesel, it probably suits its nature, being able to change gears that much quicker. I think I do like it inside. It's typical Mini, and I've nearly bought 2 Minis historically, although I've never actually come to buy one. But since BMW took Mini on, they've made a really, really great job at the Mini, because it feels a quality product nowadays. And I absolutely love the tartan, half leather tartan seats. And I like the layout. Yes, the display, the radio display under the central speedo looks a bit old-fashioned. I love the central rev counter though. I like the digital speedo, and it feels comfortable. It feels well screwed together. 30,000 mile car, this 6-year-old car with 30,000 miles on. It feels like it's 3 or 6 months old. It feels like a new car. But you can't get away from the fact that it is a really firm ride. That's going to put people off this car. It's quite fidgety on B roads that are a little bit potholed, a little bit cambered. It does tug around at the steering wheel under hard acceleration, and you just can't suppress the diesel engine. But the offset of that is you've got a car that can return 40 miles to the gallon and still have performance that's okay. But I'm not sure that sports cars buyers would buy this anyway. For me, this car is all about the image and the way it looks, and you won't be disappointed inside, because it's what BMW and Mini do best. It's a good quality, solid cabin. So this car will have appeal. And these cars, I think, will sell. And they'll sell because, yes, it's all about the style, and it's all about the way they look. They are the Marmite car. I, again, don't necessarily warm to it, but once I've got up close to this car and looked at the design features around it, some of them I absolutely love. And you've got to commend BMW for doing something different. They could have quite easily just sat behind mini hatches, and then they had the convertibles, then they had the coupes, then they moved into the before SUV Countrymans, and then they came up with the Paceman. It's a quirky, different car. You won't see many, they'll be rare, and I think people that are image conscious and like style over function, I can see the attraction. And for the Cooper SD, you've got adequate performance and you've got a good MPG. Yeah, there's some trade-offs with regard to the ride, the firm ride, the noise from the tyres, the noise from the engine. But for some people, that will be fine. And certainly a big step is if BMW would stop fitting rod flats. So there we go. Sometimes it's good to be different. And if you like the Paceman and you want that one car that does everything, then I absolutely can understand why somebody'd want a Mini Cooper SD. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give me the thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I'll be doing another video very, very soon. Thank you.